Dorian continues to approach South Jersey. I'm meteorologist Joe Martucci. Dorian is moving to the north and east from North Carolina, so it won't be making a direct impact in New Jersey. However, we do have some things we need to talk about. We have a tropical storm warning in effect for coastal areas of Atlantic and Cape May counties through 7 p.m. today. That's offshore. That's not on land. If we go to hazards that are closer to land, we have a coastal flood advisory in effect through 7 p.m. for all counties except for Ocean. We have a rip current statement out until 9 p.m. and high surf as well. The point being, do not be in the water. Don't get close to the water. It's life-threatening conditions if you are out in the water, whether you're in a boat or you're trying to enjoy the wave action here, because we do have high waves. Don't go in the water for today. So here is Dorian. Again, just to the east of the North Carolina coast as of the 11 a.m. update. It's a Category 1 storm moving to the northeast at 17 miles an hour. For perspective, when it was over Grand Bahama Island, it only moved 20 miles in 20 hours. Now we're almost moving 20 miles in 1 hour. The wind field has expanded as well. These yellows here show where the tropical storm force winds are. That's over 39 miles an hour sustained. And then we have smaller area for the hurricane force winds over 74 miles an hour, and that is actually 74 miles wide. Notice how it's in the southern Delmarva. It's going to be moving to the north and east. Point being, we should stay away from the tropical storm force winds, as I believe to be the case all week long. We look at our wind field here, just to show you how big Dorian has become now. The influence of Dorian is seen from Cape Cod all the way into the Bahamas still. Even in the Bahamas, we have southwesterly winds that are feeding into Dorian here. And we look at our wind gusts as we go throughout the midday. We're seeing gusts 33 miles an hour in Atlantic City, 37 over in Avalon and Stone Harbor, 33 miles an hour out on the Delaware Bay in Greenwich. And the winds will continue to increase as we go into the afternoon. And that's what you need to expect here. It's a breezy, raw day on the mainland. Really nothing too much to write home about, but along the shore, again, we have that life-threatening surf as well as the seas, possible power outages at the shore as we do have strong winds. And with those strong winds, down small tree branches and toppled over loose objects. Our dew points have been all over the place today, and this is going to matter because the radar has shown most of our rain just hugging the coast, and that's where we see our dew points in the mid to upper 60s, which is pretty sticky out there, and that's because the northeast wind blows off of the water, and that's why we have humid air. But that's not the case once you get north and west of the turnpike. In fact, dew points in Allentown in New York City are just straight up dry. Northeast winds blow from New England, which is land, and land is drier than the sea, and that's why we're seeing that difference. And that's also playing into the fact why I'm not too enthused with too much rain further inland. Looking at our winds as we go into the afternoon and evening, see at about 1-2 p.m. sustained winds 25 to 30 at the shore, mainland 10 to 20, and that's going to stay about the same as we go into the afternoon, into the evening. We have our first full week of high school football. Going to be quite the sight there, especially if your team likes to throw a lot. Hopefully it's a good running game for a lot of these teams, and then they diminish after about 8-9 o'clock or so. We have coastal flooding everywhere in minor flood stage with the afternoon high tides. Now thankfully we are in a quarter moon, which helps to bring naturally lower tides, and that's why we're escaping what could have been a more impactful coastal flooding situation. Saturday afternoon, really just Atlantic County on North and the Long Beach Island would see coastal flooding concerns. Move your cars inland if you usually see flooding, because this is the kind of nuisance flooding that happens many times here in South Jersey. Look at the rain hugging the coast at 2 p.m. and that's going to be about the same as we go to 5 p.m. and even into 8 p.m. as it moves away. Point being, if you're in places like Bridgeton or Hamilton, you might be completely dry, but along the coast in Wildwood and Cape May, where you've already seen through midday a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of rain, you could pick up another 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of rain. Either way, it's not an excessive amount of rain. Now we go into the overnight hours, we see a streak of rain trying to come through. That's actually pretty typical with whether it's a tropical system or a nor'easter that passes us. As it does so, there might be some left behind moisture that brings some additional rain showers. So you can see that into the overnight hours. And then as we go forward into 8 a.m., we are dry here across the area. So for this afternoon, point is dry for most of the area with some showers, but it is cool and it is raw and it is very windy out there. And we see temperatures about 10 to 15 degrees below average. High school football forecast in the mid to upper 60s. It's a howling wind out there. You're going to want jeans. You're going to want probably a long sleeve shirt of some kind and a way to avoid the wind. Maybe you got to hide behind one side of the building to catch a glimpse of the field and stay out of the wind. The wind continues into the overnight, but it does drop. Otherwise, it's a fall kind of night out there with temperatures only in the mid 50s on the mainland, low 60s at the shore. And then as we go into Saturday, different story. Dorian is behind us. We have a couple of clouds with some gusty winds early, but otherwise, then we start to see increasing sunshine and diminishing winds. Temperatures in the upper 70s, right on target for this time of year. Down Beach Seafood Festival is Saturday, so it is looking good for that. And even into Sunday, a local summer special for us. And going into next week, temperatures seasonal and mostly dry here across the area. We'll be updating you, Dorian, live on our website, pressofac.com/weather. You can also follow us on social media as well, Facebook and Instagram at JoeMartWX, Twitter at ACPressMartucci, or again, come to our website, thepressofac.com/weather.